All right. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Elite 100. Great to see you guys. We had an absolutely amazing turnout last night. Some of you were there. And if you weren't there, it was the Thinking Results Lesson 1. So we recorded that so that if you ever wanted to share it with somebody, friends, family, coworkers, things of that nature, they can get a good taste of what it's like for Lesson 1 goal setting and the Thinking Results. So super happy about that. So that's my win. Why don't we get a win for everybody? We get a small crew today, a lot of people traveling, and some people are at the board of advisors today. Eric, what's a good win, bud?
Good win is I am figuring out the stock trading thing through Jeremy, and it's been spectacular. I am enjoying it. It's a lot of fun. It's going to be a great vertical this year. It really is.
Yeah, you're actually live trading, huh?
Yeah. Yep.
Awesome. Love it.
Yep.
Love it.
So Scott and Jeff are too, and it's fantastic, isn't it?
I love it. No, I love when you find somebody that's really an expert in their field and you find a duplicatable system that's, that stands the test of time. So good deal.
Thanks.
Chris, what about you? What's a good win?
I got some money back from the Celsius bankruptcy, so that was a nice win to have some money come in.
That was is that the water? Is that
Celsius is the one where you had you put some of your Bitcoin in. I guess it's like a form of staking. They would pay interest on it.
Okay.
And Celsius filed bankruptcy like a year ago. I put my claim in, thinking, oh, who knows what I'm gonna get out of it. And I got like half back. So I was pretty happy with that. Money hit my account yesterday.
Good deal. That's a nice win. Nice win.
Yeah, nice to see some
Jeremy,
money.
Your ears must have been ringing. Eric was just singing your praises. What's a good win, brother?
A good win. I got some training in yesterday for my next physical endurance event. I'm gonna pull a car for a marathon. So I got the harness and the straps and everything in the mail, and I went and practiced it. So it's gonna be it's gonna be interesting, dude.
Is somebody going to be in it? Somebody's got to be in it.
Yeah.
Obviously on the downhill.
Yeah, I'll have someone steering
it. You're a psychopath. I love it.
Psycho.
Awesome. Mr. Johnson, would you mind reading the Mastermind principles if I pull them up?
Sure.
Thank you, brother.
The Mastermind principles. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this blessed day and for allowing us to come together in a spirit of harmony to mastermind for the benefit of all of our mastermind members, our families, and for the good of mankind. We ask that you bless this mastermind group today and every day forward. We release ourselves to the mastermind because we are strong when we have others to help us. We believe the combined intelligence of the mastermind creates a wisdom far beyond our own. We understand that we will more easily create positive results in our lives when we are open to looking at ourselves, our challenges, and opportunities from another's point of view. We decide to release our desire totally and trust to the mastermind, and we are open to accepting new possibilities. We forgive ourselves for mistakes we have made. We also forgive others who have wronged us in the past so we can move forward into the future with a clean slate. We ask God and our mastermind family to hear what we really want, our goals, our dreams, and our desires, and we hear our mastermind partners supporting us in our fulfillment. We accept. We know, relax, and accept, believing that the working power of the mastermind will respond to our every need. We are grateful knowing this is so. Dedication and covenant. We now have a covenant in which it is agreed that the mastermind shall supply us with an abundance of all things necessary to live a success-filled and happy life. We dedicate ourselves to be of maximum service to the world and our fellow human beings, to live in a manner that will set the highest example for others to follow, and to remain an open channel of God's will. We go forth with a spirit of enthusiasm, excitement, and expectancy.
Amazing. Thank you so much for that fine rendition, brother. Awesome. Hey, Jeff, what's up? Good to see you. Kevin, what's up, man? Good to see you. So today, if you guys get the message, we're gonna just be going quickly around goal accountability. What's your chief definite aim, your main purpose in life? What are you driving towards? And then also quickly, what can the group do to help? And I think one of the most important things of the mastermind is to purposefully be helping each other along our journeys as we go month after month here together. So why don't we start with Mr. Romanowski? What is your current sort of chief definite aim? And if you need clarity on that, the group can help as well.
Well, I have a C-type goal that I'm doing a few things to work on, but that's probably not my focus right now. My focus is still to, I would love to be able to coach people or guide. I want to say guide people, because I think that's what I feel is most important, especially for people that I've worked with for 40 years, the medical profession, and they need guidance. So what I watched last night, Brian, was pretty freaking amazing. I mean, it was 75 people on, and that to me was 75 people that took the time out of their life, whatever they're doing, to try to create a little bit of interest on how to benefit themselves. And so I think you have something I want, and that's like the golden speech, the golden tongue. You really had a command of the audience last night, and that's what I want. I mean, that's my a dollar goal, a C-type dollar goal is right, like important, and it's I know what we'll do with it. We've talked about it 1,000 times. It makes us more philanthropic. It gives us the chance to financially help other people. But again, reading Think and Grow Rich, again, I read it every morning. And what I know is wealth is spoken about in dollars because that's most intriguing, but wealth dollars are just a fragment of the whole situation. And so I've been very blessed. I financially, we're okay, but I've been wired to be a giving person, and I want to give words instead of anesthesia. And like you rocked it last night, and that's what I want to be. That's what I will achieve at some point, somehow.
Well, I think, and feel free to chime in. So, Jeremy, you're obviously somebody who does a ton of speaking, big audiences. Think back to when you first started. Like, what was some of the first things you did to get in front? That's what it's about. It's about getting in front of people, right?
First of all, thank you for the compliment, man. Yeah, Lynn, it warmed my heart when you said that you give anesthesia, but now you want to give words. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Words create your world. And when you start giving powerful words to other people, it can build powerful worlds for them. And two things. Number one, reach out to me anytime. I'm happy to help you.
Okay.
Do speaking more. That's one of your goals. That's the thing that lights me up in this world more than anything else outside of family, right? Just like from a career standpoint, I love speaking on stages. It's my jam. What I did, and to answer my boy Brian's question, I picked my favorite 2 or 3 motivational speakers and memorized their presentations verbatim and just practiced them. And it was Zig Ziglar, Jim Rohn, Les Brown. So the 3 goats. I didn't know Proctor at the time, Brian. He came into my life later.
Yeah,
but,
for sure.
Come up with a 4 to 5 minute thing, go to a transcript, print it out, and just read it and try to do their cadence. Even if you can do their voice, if you can do the speed, if you can do the tonality, that's it, man. That'll be a huge help. Huge. I mean, the fact most people never even do that. And just doing that will give you leaps and bounds of help and assistance.
Yeah,
I
Lenny,
think it's an interest.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Well, I think it's interesting because there was a point in my life where I did a ton of public speaking, but it was in the anesthesia field. It was about different anesthetic techniques, different drugs on the market, and I was the commander there. I did it all, and I had opportunities like I literally would fly 120,000 miles a year speaking, in addition to training for Ironman races and working and having a family. So that it can be done. I just need to, part of the problem is, part of the issue here is that I can't get out of my own way on this insecurity of not speaking fluidly or expressing myself fully. I think the material is there. I mean, I spend a lot of time doing it. That's not my question. My question is, why am I not taking that next step?
Chris?
About speaking fluently, Len. So I realized this from practice, but I also had to make the realization too, because any type of speaker, a lawyer, like you might have like discrete things you want to hit in a motion or a trial or whatever. And it's faith that in the natural process of you're not going to say everything that you planned on saying and being okay with that, because I also am a firm believer that that's where the magic happens.
Okay.
That on average you'll say more brilliant things that you didn't plan on, that just come off the cuff. Then you will forget things that you're not going to say, and that it doesn't have to be perfect. So I think having faith in that, and you definitely can do it. I think you just got to let go. Just say, fuck it. It's going to, overall on average, it's going to be better. And then just speak from the heart and have confidence that you know your stuff. And who cares if you don't hit everything you're supposed to hit, because you're going to hit everything that you that you were meant to hit.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'll agree with you on that, Chris, because in mid-October I did a talk, and it was super easy. And if I missed something, I'm the only one new
Right.
in that room
no one knew
that
anyway.
I missed it.
Exactly.
Because it was my talk. It wasn't their talk. They were
right.
listeners.
So you have nothing holding you back, Len. That's it. You've already got it, man. Now it's just about doing it.
I think that's just it. It's about doing it.
Well, Lenny, I think success leaves clues, and maybe that's what you should be really aggressively looking after is where can you get on similar stages? They invited you to speak. And I think what's holding you up right now is like creating your own stage. You're like, how do I do that, right? So I think short term, probably the thing to do is get into the associations, get into your field, get with the people that invited you to the last one, and just start looking for those stages for like all of 2024 and just get your reps in. It's much easier to get on somebody else's stage. You have the expertise. Creating your own stage, it's like you either got to figure out if you want to do it live or virtual. And Eric G and his partner are about to do this, and actually a few people here, as far as like, creating your own stage is another effort, which is doable, especially in this group, right? If you wanted to put a presentation together, this group would help promote it and drive traffic to it. And so you and I could work on something on the side as far as like a presentation. But I'm thinking, why don't you just jump into this circuit that you were invited to and work on your skills?
Those emails are already out.
Okay.
I've already gotten those out. Yep. And just waiting for a reply. This is probably a slow time of year for meetings, but it'll be coming. But those are already out.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's a good avenue for 2024 for sure. Kevin?
Yeah, really quick, instead of going for the big stages, I mean, even just in your local community, like who are some groups that you can speak with? Go to like meetup.com, go to like the local chamber of commerce, try to get connected with like local community groups to get those reps in, especially at that level. People aren't really gonna, if you mess up, they're not gonna really know. All of it is just confidence. When you speak confidently, people are like, okay, that sounds great. They're really focused on like a fraction of the entire speech. They're not going to look at all the nuances and call you out and bring the pitchforks to you on social media. So you're fine to get those reps in early on, and it's part of the process. There's gonna be a bunch of fumbles, there's gonna be a bunch of stumbling blocks, mini failures, but really you just got to get those reps in.
Well, I think that we are getting reps in, not in the mindset lectures, but in the bench project lectures. We'll speak to group of 8 or we'll speak to a group of 50, whoever will have us. So we're getting the reps in about speaking to the public. It's just changing it over to, I want to do the mindset. I really want to help people understand that there's a better life. You know, there are some people on this call that know I had a successful life, but I didn't have a great life. And, you know, we took a tough situation and made a great life out of it. And, you know, meeting Brian through a business opportunity, leading to mindset, changed everything around. And that's 5 years already, Brian. That's about 5 years now.
Yeah, it goes by. It goes
Crazy,
by.
huh? Yeah.
Well, Len, you also have a massive support group, friends, family, everybody here. If you want to
Thank you.
put a presentation together, like I said, you have
Mhm.
enough people, just like we did last night. It was all friends. There's no advertising for that.
No.
And you just do it. You just put it together and you let it rip, and people get interested. And then, you know, if you want to offer something from there, you can. But if you just want to do a value-based thing to start to build an audience, you can as well. So we
Super.
can mastermind on that on the side and figure out which way you want to
Yeah.
go.
That'd be great. You know,
Awesome.
Jeremy, it's like that first long distance race that you did. You're standing on the water's edge, your feet are in the water, you know you're going to take off and swim, and but you just got to hear the gun go off and do it.
Yeah.
And I think you recognize that.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that's kind of like, that's a great metaphor. And I think for what Brian too is, he's like, hey man, we do a bunch of free stuff. I'm just going to throw you in the fire and give you a
Mhm.
5-minute section of, okay, Len, you got to speak on mindset, and you got to speak on mindset about how, and you know, Brian can just give you cues on other, and in fact, Brian, interesting thing enough, I know you said you guys will talk about it, but having Len be an edifier for you is never a bad thing, right? Most big comedians and or public speakers and or musicians, they have an act that comes on before. And so it's like, here's an act, and welcome to the stage, the world famous, world
Yeah, no,
renowned.
there could be a collaboration for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Mhm.
So I'm excited to hear you, Lan. I can't wait, man.
Well, I think that our collaboration, the Del Maso Romanowski collaboration, is going to be in
Oh, yeah.
healthcare.
Oh,
I
yeah.
can see that
Absolutely.
coming.
Love
Yeah,
it.
It's going to
absolutely.
be big. Okay.
That's
Thank you,
why I
everyone.
said to keep
Appreciate
getting
it.
on those stages. It's keep getting the exposure, getting on stages. That'll lead to, you know, that'll lead to an opportunity. Somebody from the
Mhm.
audience will literally ask you to come speak at their specific companies. Usually the way that stuff works. So,
Awesome. Thank you all.
right. Mr. Newsom, what's your current C-type goal and how can we help?
The big one for me right now, man, is going to be launching the podcast September, October of this year. It's called Solving America's Problems. And so it's going to be a political podcast, obviously, based on the ultimate vision. And it's going to be a really, really cool mind mapping session where I speak to different counterparts and address particular problems and really work on coming up with actual solutions. I think that's something that's been missing a lot. And the truth is, man, I don't need a lot of help on it right now, which is the good
Okay.
news. The help will be just having listeners when it happens.
I was going to say, we can help spread the word when the time comes. Put it in
Yeah,
the-
exactly. So when the time comes, and I think you guys all know, once I put my mind on something, it's happening. So it's just a matter of time. I'm going to build out the website. I'm going to get the logo. I'm going to get the colors. You know, I'm going to get the images. Right now, I'm working on the demographic of who the best person to listen to it will be. My career has really been helping people who generally aren't super interested in stocks become more interested in stocks because they're amazing. And I think I can do the same thing with politics and approach it from a lighthearted, explorative, exciting, unique perspective that's a little bit more loving and open versus guarded and pragmatic and focus on one answer being the only correct answer, only one viewpoint being the only right viewpoint. So it's going to be awesome, man. I'm really
Are
excited.
you going to need speakers? Is it something that you would want some people from this group to potentially be on?
To be on 100%. Absolutely. Yeah. It won't be speakers per se, but it will be guests that I'll be interviewing. So for example, you, Jeff, Chris, Lynn, Valerie, your girl Laura, right? And cool. We got 6 people. And then I'll just ask questions about one particular topic that you would all already know ahead of time, so you can really prepare your answers and be thoughtful about it. And then just work on some solutions, right? Like, all right, childhood obesity, how do we fix this? And there's obviously no wand. So what are the exact steps? What's the timeline? How do we implement it? It's going to be amazing, man. And yes, it's going to be so fun to have some of these amazing elite individuals on it to pour in their guidance and their thoughts on actual solutions.
Perfect. Perfect. I love it. And that's the point of this too, guys, is just so we always know what each other's working on. It's good to get caught up with like what's currently on the radar. So I love it.
Oh yeah. Thanks, man.
Mr. Rubin, what about you, bud? You got a million things going on. What is your current main thing, and how can we help?
Jacked.
Hey everyone. Honestly, I'm trying to do less. So I will say Kevin Duggan has been amazing. We've kind of just doing like weekly calls and just on life and real estate stuff, but he's been really amazing in helping me kind of like think about what's, you know, super important and just doing a little bit less of things. So, you know, we're still trying to do our container homes. We're building RMC. That's getting somewhere in our town, which is awesome. And just because of my family, I'm doing one little production thing. So that might be cool. So maybe news on that. But yeah, just trying to sort out all the things we have in motion and get going and execute on and everything.
Did you ever connect with Chad Warren? And
yeah, I did. Interesting stuff. Expensive for prefabs. Their prefabs are a little expensive.
They're on the higher end. I noticed that.
Yeah. So yeah, the super nice. Super nice. I just don't know how feasible that is. But and also I'm certainly not the one to decide that. But I don't know. It's just nothing specific. Just trying to focus more on the three things that are super important, and you know, and for the real estate stuff, you know, just trying to find opportunities to collaborate with awesome people outside of like this little group that we form. But like Jeremy and I are talking to one of his friends in Tennessee who wants to liquidate a whole bunch of his stuff because of some issues, and we're there for it if the numbers make sense. And then some stuff in Ohio, it's just, you know, trying to figure it all out.
Well, if anything comes up, like I said, the group's here. You know, if you need help promoting something or bringing something together, I know the Vrolio team is off and rocking and rolling. So there's a lot of good stuff happening over there as well.
Yeah, and Greg and I are trying to raise some money for the Vrolio fund. So one of my friends in the outside the U.S. is probably going to partner with us on that. So that could be great. So just trying to make it happen.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Mr. Steck, what about you, bud? Current C-type goal and what, if anything, can we do to help?
All right, I'm muting myself. Let's see. So I had to revise my C-type goal as I think we're moving a little bit away from trying to scale access to the 1,000 members that I thought maybe we'd like to at some point. I think there's another way to build this education company that doesn't rely so much on that as the cornerstone. So my revised C-type goal is, I'm so happy and grateful now that the Steck Family Office Education Company is helping thousands of paying members, students along a well-defined path toward even greater financial and time freedom, leading to annual gross revenue of $35 million for the business, margins of 80%, and $10 million per year in my pocket.
Nice.
So a lot of specificity there, which I feel is probably the right way to go.
Yeah.
So the thing that we've just kind of made the decision to start pushing toward is a free to attend virtual private lending summit as kind of a high value lead magnet. And it's not, unfortunately, it's not the kind that you create once and just can deploy on Rails. It's going to take a lot of content creation, organizing guest speakers and so forth, but it's going to create a lot of value and I think engender a lot of goodwill with attendees, such that those who really see see the value that we've delivered and done so for free are going to raise their hand and want to attend the workshop.
Mhm.
So I've been promoting it through a couple of emails to the CRM. It's going pretty well. I think we could be doing better if we were posting regularly, either on LinkedIn or one of the social media networks. And I'm just curious to get everybody's take on, given what you guys know of our business, looking for sort of unsophisticated but high net worth individuals, where do you think we'd best be served to start posting about this?
Well, I definitely think LinkedIn for your, but you can also run LinkedIn ads too, as another thing. That might actually help scale a little bit, because I know Dave has a big presence on LinkedIn. And
Yeah.
are you guys going through his profile?
We would be, yeah.
Yeah. I think LinkedIn ads, and then somebody who's an absolute master at YouTube is Mr. Newsom. I don't know if you have any thoughts on that. It's more like the higher, these are all like, they're looking for accredited people mostly.
Yeah, not opposed to helping unaccredited. We'd like to, for the accredited folks to sort of self-select, the dentists, the surgeons, the folks who just, they've got money, they don't feel particularly, and yeah, so Jeremy, I'm sure you've had figured out how to go after these people, because they have money, but they don't feel all that confident deploying it themselves. They ideally like somebody to just do it for them, but we'd rather educate them than just run a fund.
Blake, you want to hear something crazy, man? This tip helped me a lot. I got a VA to go, and so I heard you say dentist. And so I got a VA to go find me every dentist email in Nashville. Now, they publicize their email openly. It's free, right? So it's there, which means it's not protected by the anti-spam law. And so now you can copy that email and you write up a pretty well-worded email, good subject. And this is something you can spend a decent amount of time on, but good subject and just like a good body. And it just gets sent from your email, right? Hi, I'm Blake and I'm really hot at gmail.com. And you send that out from your personal inbox with a good subject line, like, depending on exactly what you're trying to cater it, if it's just a phone call or just a reply back, you'd be surprised at how well that works.
Yeah.
I mean, especially when you personalize it and it's just from your email and it's not from a CRM and it doesn't have an unsubscribe button on it. And a VA can get you like 1,000 emails in 2 days, and they're all legit because they're all going to be on Google. You just Google them. So yeah,
Right
man.
So they're just searching for dentists in a local area and then scraping their website for whatever email address is listed on there, huh? Okay.
Yep.
Damn.
And that's their work email, and they check it all the time, right? And so they're not going to expect like, hey, I help dentists make more money. Please message me, or whatever the subject line is.
Something like that.
Well,
Or
the
just,
one thing, Blake, I think you guys are probably ideal to speak to the pain points of a dentist, right? They're in kind of an invisible prison. They're kind of handcuffed to their $250 a year. You can say stuff like that. You feel handcuffed to your $250 a year. You don't have, you're handcuffed to your business. Don't see a way out. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
You guys could probably speak to those pain points very well.
Yeah.
And that group is just looking. They're looking to hand over money to somebody intelligent and.
Yeah, Brian, I can. Blake, so my wife is a super successful dentist, and they're I have been to far too many dental meetings in my life than I would have liked to, considering everyone asks me why I'm not a dentist for marrying a dentist. And anyway, they do so many meetups and they're all so interested in exactly what Brian said and Jeremy and what you're providing. If you could meet in like the air, like the zip, like a mix of like what Jeremy was saying, if you could find the person who's running like for example, like Manchester, New Hampshire has like the Manchester Dental Association, right? And so like it's voluntary, and so these people are always, but so like they want to like bring these things to the group in the right manner. If you could find out who's running these groups, and it's not very hard, in the zip codes that Jeremy was talking in, zip codes that are interesting to you, like high net worth, medium salary, whatever, and then mix it with what Jeremy was talking about, you'd probably optimize like and get exactly to the person you want to. And if you do both at the exact same time, you probably 10x the result.
So would these be groups under the kind of the official umbrella of like an ADA type of thing, or are they?
Yeah, so like literally like the Manchester Dental Association, or
Yeah.
the, you know, Orange County Dental Association, the Brentwood Dental Association.
Go to
Or you know what you could do actually, which I'm sure you could, if you could, like, back, obviously everything you guys do, that you back it up on a super high level, which is awesome. If you could go to like the dental schools, like dental schools in the areas also, you could go to them and say, hey, like, I want to provide, I'm interested in providing these services for dentists. And then you can get into like the younger demographic of dentists who aren't at that 250K, who want to be at that 250K, and have some like small allotment of their salary that they want to infuse into what you guys are doing.
Yeah.
I don't know, that
Cool.
could be like another cheat code to like get, because you're right, dentists have a lot of money, and they, you know, they are very like in their box of, I go to work, I do teeth, and then I go home and I'm tired and I want to like fall asleep.
Yeah, yeah,
So.
for sure. Yeah, I think they feel, one of the phrases I've used in a sales letter I wrote was freedom from the chair, right? They like Brian said, they basically feel like they're going to be stuck with their hands in somebody's mouth, with their back aching for the rest of their lives, and definitely don't want I don't think want to set their kids up for that. So that's where the education component comes in, where you want to dissuade them from feeling like they should just hand it off to somebody and never learn it for themselves, that they kind of owe it to their kids to develop this as a skill set. So I've been thinking a lot about it, and I appreciate you guys kind of being a sounding board. Some great suggestions, and I'll definitely work those angles.
There's
Well,
also
Blake,
the
I'll text you, because I can definitely help you with the associations that my wife knows. So I'll text you, and maybe you can
Yeah,
do some
amazing.
stuff in New Hampshire.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
There's also
Of course.
something in the chat from Chris Johnson to connect with certain guys, a financial advisor that focuses on dentists. So make sure you grab
Right
that.
on. Okay. Excellent, Chris. Well, if you don't mind me,
I put all the information there with his email address. Mention me. He has a podcast. I was on his podcast.
Beautiful.
So it's
All right.
all tailored towards dentists. And I think that would be good. He's a nice guy. He's a real nice guy.
Awesome, man. Looks
Very
like I got everything I need. I will reach out to him and mention you. Thank you so much.
Great advice. Great advice.
Yeah, no problem.
Eric G, what about you, brother? What's your current goal, and what are some things we might be able to do to help?
My current goal is to make $1 million a month. And I'm glad you selected me next, because I have a question about what you guys are all talking about there.
Sure.
So we run a fix and flip business, and we fund that a number of ways, but we have private lenders that we pay 8% interest to come in, and they're securitized against property. We buy it, fix it, flip it. They bring the purchase price. 100 days later, they get their money back, and then they want to do it again and again and again. So we got probably enough of those kind of people, but with the private money lending thing that I've learned about from the Steck family, you know, it wouldn't be very difficult for me to create a fund, right? And then act as the intermediary and be the guy that, because we have the houses that we sell to other investors. So with what you guys are talking about there, I mean, I don't have a fund like Blake, you guys have a SEC fund, right? You can legitimately advertise for money. I don't think I can do that yet. Is that right?
You can.
Say that again?
You can. There's tons and tons and tons of rules that I would highly suggest you read into about raising capital, because
Okay.
there's capital limits.
Okay.
So if it's less than a certain amount, you can advertise publicly, according to the SEC.
Could email a bunch
And
of
Eric, we can set up a call too.
I was gonna say,
with my securities attorney, and we can talk through all the exemptions and
You
everything.
definitely want to get with Chris and his team. They are very, very well versed in the does and don'ts and the structure and all the ways. You know,
Yeah.
That's a fun limiting belief, though, Eric. That's a good one.
Yeah. Yeah. So awesome. So that's an avenue that I could do. It would be easy to do because I have the houses, I have the people who want to buy them. And then if I'm just the middleman and I just borrow at 5 to 8 and lend out at 12 and 2 or whatever that ends up being, it could be quick, easy way that takes very little time to orchestrate. Because the deals come through us. We vet them in the office. We know if they're deals or not, right? And then we can just offload them, sign them to somebody, make a little bit of money, and then provide the cash as well.
Yeah, you're thinking you're thinking on the right lines. A lot of people that will do things like that if they have a certain niche and they just need a buyer. Well, guess what? I mean, the fund either provides buying capabilities or financing capabilities. So
Yeah.
you can hit it on both fronts.
Yeah,
Smart.
Yeah, so that's just something I'm crafting up in my head right now, how to pull that off. It's been on the back burner, and it's been something I've been a private money lender many, many, many times to people that we've assigned to that they didn't know where to get the money so that's what I'm doing. And then other than that, everything's going fine. I'm loving trading. It's the best. I sometimes ask myself, why am I doing anything else? So, yeah. And then also, our real estate thing is going just fine. We're marketing for deals are coming in, and we're offloading them, and that's working good. So,
Well done, bro.
Awesome. Lenny?
Eric, would you be able to give me or give us the 2-minute or 3-minute lowdown on your trading?
sure, I can tell you my experience.
Yeah, that's all.
Yeah. Jeremy's my trading coach, and I can't say enough about him. The energy he brings, how he knows how to, assess where people are at and bring them to the next level. He's been doing it forever, and he is the master at it. My account has gone up since I met Jeremy, and it is so fun to sit down and at my little desk here and just knock it out of the park and learn something. And I can tell you, it's not like, oh, give me a hot stock tip. What am I buying today? Right? It's more of like, teach me how to know what you know. Teach me how to identify it on my own, right? And why did this happen? And I have watched hundreds of hours of Jeremy's videos, and since December 8th or so, or 9th, when we went to his house for a 3-day, hundreds and hundreds of hours, just every moment. Report.
There's only been a few hundred hours since then, dude.
I can't tell you. It's been a lot. It's pretty much every waking moment that I have, I'm watching a video or watching a video again, right?
Thanks,
and
man.
so it's been great. It's been really good. I love it. It's the amazing thing is you can do it from anywhere you have internet, right? And once you learn the skill, where's it going to go? It's a repeatable skill. So I can't say enough about it. It's my new thing, and it is a thing. It's a real thing. So
That's why you'd want to start a real estate fund if you can just make money trading every day.
I know. Yeah.
It is a goddamn nightmare, brother.
Blake, I am so glad you said that. It's one less thing that I'm going to say no to. Say it again.
Hilarious.
It's a nightmare, huh?
It is bleeping nightmare. Yeah, man. What is it?
Okay.
Warren Buffett said, the most successful people in this world are the best at saying no to things. Say no to managing a real estate fund.
Okay. Thank you very much. I am so glad I jumped on this call. Because, and then the other thing is, am I going to stick 500 grand into this fund to get it off the ground? What can I do, Jeremy, with 500 grand if I know how to trade and I sit at my computer for 200 days? What are the possibilities there with 500 grand?
It's a valid question, but here's really what I would prefer it, because I think you nailed it, man, when you said skill set, right? Like that's what this is all about is, do you know how it works? Once you know real estate, I love real estate. I have wealth in real estate. Some of my best friends are in real estate, but it's very boring because once the numbers work, the deal works.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, so people who love certainty and exactness and the known, they gravitate to real estate. But people who love uncertainty and variety and exceptional variety, they love the stock market. And I think you know both. I think you should know both. Because $500,000 is $2 million in the stock market, right? That's your day trading capital. And that's what you have access to for free. Like, it doesn't cost you anything additional to have access to it. If you use it, obviously it's a little bit more. We're talking like what, 11% a year. I mean, it's unbelievable. I mean, the leverage, there's nothing like the leverage in the stock market. Real estate's a joke. When you come to leverage, I love leverage, but the stocks make it much more capable, and the capacity is there, and the deals are the easiest part.
Yeah.
So there's pros and cons, man. And I love having people be aware that if you like certainty and need certainty, you should have some real estate. That's my wife, by the way. So this is gonna stress some of you guys out. My wife likes the real estate, and she only wants it owned in cash. So just like houses in cash, no equity, owned full, like that stresses me out so much. But that's like that's what she wants. It's her love language. So
well, real estate serves its purpose because of the tax write-offs, and you make X amount in stock trading. You dump it in a 4-plex or a 12-plex or whatever, right? And then
100%.
it does its own thing consistently year after year, guaranteed. Boring. But it provides good tax benefits.
Correct. Huge tax benefits.
Yeah. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for asking, Lynn. Thanks, Eric. I love you, bro.
Yeah.
Mr. Dugan, what's your current chief definite aim, and how can we help?
Yeah, I'll start off with how my vision has shifted recently, and it's been to more of these simple concepts of redistributing wealth to our nation. So that's something that I've been playing around with in terms of where I want the companies to go. So an example of that is a debt fund that I'm looking to create later on this year, and also a partnership program. And then also through our companies, I want to raise the collective consciousness of people. And that's a very obscure thing at times to place on a real estate company. But from a mechanical standpoint, I think it's very simple. You know, there's so many touch points with people that if you're putting in a component of empowerment, education, positivity, that repeated message that's ingrained into all the interactions that you have with people can uplift a person or a family consciously, depending on the level they're at, right? For instance, this room we're in right here, the conscious level is already pretty high. So it's just, you know, this is more of like a mastermind group versus some of our low-income tenants. I mean, they may not even know how to pay the bills, you know, on a monthly basis. So in order to get them to the point where they're now conscious, it's like, hey, what are some educational resources so you can get, you know, a job or an internship or free government, resources. So that's been the idea that I've been playing around with as of late. The tricky part is the actual execution of it. So on the granular side, projects are still going really smooth in Florida, which is fantastic. We're looking at bigger projects now, looking at a new development out there. But on the mechanical side, I still have that ebb and flow where I jump into operations and then I don't raise the capital for individual projects. So that creates a little bit of a cash crunch at times. So it's a very odd dynamic where I'm playing to multiple roles, where I go back and forth between the visionary side and then jumping into the nuances of operations. And there's just and I'm not an ops guy by nature. So I'm just trying to give a little bit of commentary here. And then on the flip side, I'm also shifting more of my attention towards raising capital, which feels great. You know, I'm doing this LinkedIn outreach program right now. I did a presentation on fractional, which I want to give a shout out to the Steck family because I saw a fractional presentation from one of our other members there. And it's like, oh, let me just reach out to them and see if I can put a deal on their platform. And it was really smooth to do that. So there's these things where it's like, okay, pieces just click, but then at the same time, it's putting the attention on what I should be putting my attention on most of the time, which is sourcing projects and raising capital. So that's been the dynamic that I've been battling with. big picture, I'm like really excited about things. Like I truly believe that the idea of redistribution of wealth to our nation is something that should be ingrained in many companies to do it responsibly, and then also to uplift other people through business activities. Those are just my philosophies. On a simple side, it's like, hey, generate more money and you can have more impact from a more revenue standpoint. So yeah, that's where I'm currently at right now on the set of companies that I'm running.
Well, I think one thing that you and I need to continue to collaborate and talk about is like the whole idea of like the Mindset Masters being part of that sort of the masses education. It's already, the platform's already, it's already kind of started, and it's geared towards sort of that, that demographic, that group of people that, they might have a job, they might be trying to do something on the side, entrepreneurial, trying to, get that first business up and running, basic skills. We bring in guests and things like that. So that still might be a good fit. It's more about how do you, we have a landing page and stuff, but how do you get that information out to those people effectively? And one of the ways, now from time to time, we just do like a free training, right? We invite people for free, like last night.
Yep.
Maybe circulating one of those trainings in a newsletter. We should maybe chat on the side to figure out what that could look like.
Yeah, I mean, on that, I've had ideas cross my mind, like, okay, easily on our websites, we can just put an affiliate page, like, hey, for mindset training, please go to, the Matrix, Brian with the Matrix, and then we'll funnel people in your direction. Newsletters, same thing, as long as it's simple, like a quick message, like, hey, this is like a quick tip of the day on how you can start to like, shift your mindset. You really just need one message to hit somebody, right? Yeah. And then it to be a cascading effect of like, oh wow, like wow, that's like simple. Why didn't I understand this before? A lot of it's because people just have these blinders and filters on. Words come in, but they can't actually process the meaning of them. So that's a component. Even, I ran into a gentleman who is already starting a work training program focusing on the south side of Chicago. I'm like, great. Instead of us doing internships with our construction team, just drop them into his vertical, and at least there's a resource where it's like, hey, talk to Melvin and his company, talk to other community leaders, and see how you can be part of the community to improve where you live, to expand this area. So those are all initiatives that I want to push towards over time, but they can't be the highest priorities as we're just focused on like, okay, we got to make sure our deal flow gets to $1 million a month, like on Eric's side, where the machine is cranking, and then we can hire individuals or bifurcate our time to focus on those initiatives on a regular basis.
Yeah, have you ever thought of like how Elon Musk, I mean, he runs multi-billion dollar companies, right? He takes like, at least the last time I heard, Monday would be Tesla, Tuesday would be SpaceX. He splits time on Wednesday. Have you thought about like really chunking off your calendar so that you can see like, 80% of your time is towards the things you need to do, and maybe 10% of your time needs to be spent over in these other areas?
Shifting towards that. I mean, right now I'm going through a whole like email inbox inbox zero protocol, so everything can be organized, just like sorted out. I'm also trying to chunk parts of my schedule towards like business development, so at least like during this time I should be doing this. So that's where, from a energy standpoint, I've been feeling much more energized, for lack of a better description, because I following some of the process items. It just, right now we're in this like little spin of trying to like twirl upward, I guess is the best way to describe it, because there's multiple verticals at play at once.
Yeah, I mean, you're moving in the right direction. You made leaps and bounds over the past few months, and last quarter and first quarter this year. So I feel like you're moving in the right direction for sure.
Yep. Yeah, just never fast enough.
Yeah. Let's see, Jeffrey. What about you, bud? What's your current? Actually, you got something new on the table if you want to share with the group that you're. We can do a full-blown hot seat at some point, but maybe you can get some quick advice on what you're looking to do there.
Yeah, so I I've been talking to some people, and similar to what some of you guys are doing, but a little different. I've been telling people my story and what we, selling the company, all this stuff. And right now the world's kind of in shambles to a certain extent, for certain industries and stuff. So I've actually gotten a few clients just from word of mouth. Actually, Jeremy, in Jeremy's group, I grabbed someone, actually to someone else, and he gave me one. But so I'm trying to help smaller companies with financials, business strategic planning, more one-on-one coaching right now. I'm not ready for the stage or anything like that yet. I more want to just dive into someone's, business with them one-on-one, help them scale it, help them figure out billables, break even numbers, because a lot of people don't even know what they're doing with billing. I looked at someone's financials for 2 minutes and I saw they had a major cash flow issue. Some loans and stuff they had. I said, you're in a bad situation with cash flow. Cash is king in business. Sales solves all issues, so if trying to instill people to think more like CEOs, instead of just everything, and think more, like most people think in this group. So I'm trying to start a company doing that, and eventually scale it over time. But right now that's kind of my goal and my new passion.
What's at this stage of the game, what if anything can we do to help? Is there a deal, what's your ideal avatar look like?
So I'm looking for businesses like 1 to 20 million person companies. I'm not looking for big companies right now. Revenue between $100,000, $5 million probably. People are just starting to scale their business in the world, or trying to figure it out. So anyone that that's in distress like that and you want to throw my way, I give her for my model is to in the beginning put a lot of work into it, and then kind of have them on cruise control so the fees will come way down. I'm not someone that's looking to just get rich off one client like some of these other group consulting firms are doing. So I'm just looking to get someone in a good place and then just put them on cruise control where they can reach out. We do bi-weekly meetings and stuff like that. But really, do a straight business plan, dive into marketing, everything,
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, if anybody knows anybody that fits in that bucket, sounds like early stage startup to the first couple of million a year. So, and as you build out and get your services solidified and your website and things of that nature, we can do a full-blown, like I said, hot seat and get you out in front of the elite here and kind of dig into what you're doing.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm a little ways away to being in front of you guys, but to be in front of businesses, I'm definitely ready for that. But I have a website. One thing I've been talking to Jeremy back and forth, like you said, he gives a lot of good ideas on email list and YouTube. I don't know that world at all with YouTube and speaking through internet and stuff like that, like what you do. So I need to learn how to get that out there.
Yeah, I think this group can definitely help, and Jeremy is a master at YouTube and building out some of those channels. So I think there'd probably be a lot of good fits there. Like some of the people that are working with him are business owners. So maybe there's a collaboration there where there's referrals back and forth and things of that nature.
Yeah, I'll put my website in the chat. But again, I built this website, so I'm obviously I'm looking to improve it. So again, I'm just starting out with everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you start to have specific needs, like, oh, does anybody know a good website builder? Just post it in the WhatsApp chat, because you'll get multiple answers, from the group here.
Okay. It won't let me post the website in the chat for some reason, but.
Oh, really?
It's saying Jeff Rubin's not part of the meeting anymore. That's all it keeps telling me.
Oh, you're trying to send it directly to him.
Your message is probably to him instead of to everyone.
Oh, okay. No, sorry. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. No worries. Awesome, everybody. We'll look for that website. We'll get we didn't get to everybody, so next week we'll continue on sort of C-type goals and accountability and laser coaching. And I think these quick sort of mini hot seats are good, just to get everybody on the same page about what's going on in our lives, we were working towards, and how can we quickly help ourselves. So if we didn't get to you today, we'll get to you next week, and we'll keep it going. All right, everybody. So have a good week. Be well and God bless. And again, any questions, anything you guys need, feel free to use the WhatsApp chat or obviously just reach out to each other directly. This, this Elite 100 is a very tight group of people and everybody's very, very willing to give and willing to help. So we'll see you guys next week. Be well.
Thanks, you too.
Have a great week, everyone.
Bye,
See you,
everybody.
everybody.
Bye.